before Christmas, Kohdok reviewed for me 5 golden toys. Yep, 5 golden toys. Now, I'm not reviewing these toys because they're colored gold per se. I'm reviewing them because they represent the gold standard in toy franchises. They are 5 huge franchises that everybody has heard of. Literally, you could probably talk to a man on the street and ask him what any of these are. Anyway, the 5 gold standard toys on my list are Hot Wheels, Barbie, Star Wars, Transformers, and Legos. Heck, a lot of these toys have probably been around since your parents were kids. Hot Wheels is kind of the gold standard for toy cars. Whenever you compare toy cars to something, you refer to them as Hot Wheels. In fact, little toy cars about this size are often called Hot Wheels. Now, the big benefit that Hot Wheels has over its competitors is it tends to have superior bearings in its wheels, permitting it to roll much better and perform on stunt tracks. But probably one of Hot Wheels' biggest advantages is the price. Despite this crazy economy, these things have only gone up in price about as much as a postage stamp. They're still only about $1.07 at most places I go, and that really hasn't gone up much at all. They're still able to make them really cheap, which is one of the big reasons they've managed to stay around. Now, the thing is, some of these treasure hunts, they still cost only $1.07 to buy in a store, but I could probably turn this thing around and sell it for $30 on eBay. That just kind of goes to show how crazy and volatile the collecting market is. There was also a cartoon recently created for Hot Wheels called Battle Force 5. However, it didn't really seem to catch on. I guess having a guy drive a race car covered in evil robots while simultaneously thinking with portals was a bit of a tough act to follow, and I guess the story kind of petered out.
These are some Hot Wheels.
Oh, that was a heavy title drop. And then there's Barbie dolls. Girl toy! Barbie is another one that was introduced in the 50s and represents really the first toy made that is an adult girl for little girls to play with. Before then, it was mostly baby dolls and stuff. Now, this means that the girls would treat Barbie as though it's the person they want to be. They can play house with Barbie is really what the initial appeal was, and it just took off and exploded. The big focus of Barbie is that she is considered a fashion doll. That means that the doll itself can actually have its clothes exchanged with a few choice accessories such as shoes, dresses, purses, eyewear, all kinds of things. Now, I actually own this doll because I used it in a stop-motion animation film project. Want to see it? Well, too bad. You're going to have to anyway.
Well now, hapless bystanders, how do you like my new Dr. Death? What are you doing, Warmonger? Turn it back on!
Wasn't me, genius. It was the electric company.
Electric company?
Yes, gentlemen.
We have increased your rates again!
Now that's evil.
Rising energy rates dating you down? At Bolt Energy, we strive to keep our rates locked in so you don't have to worry. Bolt Energy? Less money?
More power!
Naturally, in order to play house, they've created a few characters for Barbie to interact with, such as her sisters like Skipper and Stacy and Chelsea, and I can't remember all of them. But probably the most famous is Ken, her boyfriend. Now this doll is one that has recently came out that is called the Fashionista line. I actually like this a lot because it includes several moving joints, which made it a lot easier to use in my animation film project. It actually has bending legs and arms. Barbie has been the subject of a lot of scrutiny. She's a huge source of parody for her materialism, and she's also been involved in a few famous incidents, such as the math class is tough incident. Now, as to why they've adopted a song that makes fun of it as their official theme song for Barbie is beyond me, but, you know, if Monster High is any indication, then somebody high up in Mattel has a good sense of humor. Star Wars is more famous for the fact that it is a widely merchandised product that was based on a movie, and it kind of really set the standard for how far merchandising can go.
Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
There have been action figures, cartoons, all sorts of things related to this series. And it's really kind of how other movie toys are measured, is how do they compare to Star Wars toys? If you don't know the story of Star Wars by now, I'm sure there's lots of people who can explain it better. The thing is, despite having initially been created in the 70s, they are still making new movies and cartoons related to this series, along with tons and tons of new toys, with lightsabers and action figures being some of the most popular. The Transformers, a story about the heroic Autobots in their fight against the evil Decepticons. The gimmick for Transformers should be pretty obvious by now. It's vehicles that transform into robots, so any car out there could be an Autobot or a Decepticon. Transformers is an example of a merchandise-based show with a gimmick, in this case, transforming. Transformers has been around for a long time based on this one simple gimmick. Why? Because it's so cool. It's a very highly interactive sort of gimmick where you can change it and then change it back, but the whole process to it is just really enjoyable. Transformers has been around for a long time with its own original series and several spin-offs and continuity reboots. Myself, I actually started around Beast Wars. A lot of toys have transforming gimmicks, and they're pretty much inevitably compared to Transformers. I can think of one good example. Other gimmicks have also been introduced, usually involving some form of combination, but all of them tend to use the transforming gimmick. Now, Transformers has been put more into the spotlight lately thanks to the movies from Michael Bay. Did I just say thanks to Michael Bay? Oh well, but a lot of it is nostalgia. This series has probably been running on nostalgia for like 10, 15 years, and it doesn't really show any signs of stopping because, you know, kind of like Beyblades, it's a really classic idea that I don't think will ever really wear out as long as new cars are being made. So, that's Transformers. And finally, Legos, another well-established brand that has been around for around 50 years. Legos are probably the ultimate in user-friendly customizable toys. I mean, I know I'm emphasizing the figures here, but the huge appeal of Legos is the fact that you get to build basically whatever you want. Probably molding clay is the only thing that can be more customizable than Legos. The stud and tube designs allow Legos to stick together in order to be able to build things like houses, or cars, or battleships, or really whatever you have in mind. A lot of them have created unique series such as those that have like pirates or spaceships or ninjas, but they've also recently branched out into the world of merchandising toys. One of the things that their competition Mega Bloks has actually been doing for a while. There's also a variety of age ranges for Legos, with the Duplo series making up those aimed at little kids, and then the Technic series for more refined adults. Now, the thing about Legos is they are probably the most customized friendly toy of all, even if it's a small customization like my Ultimate Breeze 2.0 here, or something as crazy as an entirely new design. It's possible with Legos. And that is what I believe are the 5 gold standard toys. Now, a couple things I'd like to mention before I finish this review is one, is I'm sure you guys expected at least one of these to show up in this review. I know there were a couple people asking for a Ninjago, but the thing is, because these toys are such classics, they'd probably appear in the reviews year after year after year, so I kind of need to consolidate them into this little Hall of Fame just to make up for it. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably have other toys that you think should go in this list, but these are the 5 that I feel fit in there best. And if I tried to add more, then we'd have more than 5. When I wanted to pick my 5 champions, this is what I went for. Anyway, tomorrow we'll be back with a whole new toy as we continue Kohdok's 12 Toys of Christmas. Until then, happy holidays!